what the controllers have now gained access to. And that's why they're so full of arrogance. That's why they're so full of hubris, because they have all this technology. They're on amazing power trips. But there's one big problem with the equation. They're not giving and loving people that realize they're part of this species and connected to everyone else. Even if they lie to themselves and tell themselves that they're gods, they are still connected to each and every one of us. And when they commit that crime against humanity and our species, they commit a crime against themselves. Here's an example. Whether you look at China or Europe, anywhere in the world, it's the same thing. The more cunning, the more backstabbing, the more manipulative you are, the more duplicitous, your family accelerates into circles of greater and greater power until you have all these inbred psychopaths intermarrying together who don't just go along with killing their fellow humans and dumbing their fellow humans down, and who hate their fellow humans having an understanding of knowledge. I mean, I love people having knowledge. I love people taking their blinders off. I love people opening their minds to a larger and greater world. The globalists hate that. And that's a fundamental crime against creativity. And it's a fundamental crime not just against us, but themselves. But here's the message to the controllers. Do they think that once they're done, if they're successful, soft killing us, slowly exterminating us through wars and famine and genetic Armageddon, do they think that that psychopathic murdering instinct that they have is going to go away? Do they think this war against their fellow humans is going to end when there's only 50 million globalists on the planet, as they put in the stone of the Georgia Guidestones? As the United Nations Biological Diversity Assessment 1996 states, their plan is to reduce us by close to 90%, down to 500 million. Do they think they're going to stop the killing, stop the murdering, stop the poisoning, stop the subterfuge? No. When you really study these people, it's like a giant Grand Prix with 1,000 globalist race cars out there on the track, all racing for who could be the most wicked, the most evil, the most destructive. Do they think that race is going to stop? No. They all hate each other more than they even hate us individually. They only join together through their power structure as an attempt to cement their monopoly of power. They are not going to stop. The global elite are a self-serving, nearsighted group of degenerates who fundamentally cannot stop their completely destructive ways. And that's the issue that must be understood. When you read the mainline, publicly available, declassified history that in the 1850s, Galton, along with Darwin, developed the plan of eugenics. When you read deeper and find out eugenics isn't just injecting Guatemalan children with syphilis to kill them deader than a hammer, or giving Nigerian children live polio, now declassified, just going on this year. Oh no, it doesn't just stop with that. It continues on and on and on. And these people have committed these crimes out in the open, and they have trained us that we're powerless and trained us to accept all of this. And they are not gods. They are not all powerful. They have the amazing human potential, but they are the lesser among us. The average good-hearted person would never think like this, would never come up with ideas like this, would never do things like this. It is only the worst in our society. Going back to the social Darwinist who said, if we can kill masses of people, if we can start wars, if we can remove populations, we're doing a genetic favor to the planet because only the strongest exist. That is an incredibly sickening statement to realize in its totality. And I know that at a certain level, it is, again, scary. But as Patrick Henry said, I would know the whole of the truth and make preparation for it. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death. And when you make the fundamental decision to face the facts and realize just how high the costs are, you understand what he was talking about. It is a spiritual death. It is a physical death. To turn yourself over to their delusions, to turn yourself over to their mind control, and to go along with their fundamental lies. You are only alive and empowered when you are truly seeking the truth and opening yourself up to the overriding spirit of life and liberty that governs this universe. So as dire our straits are, remember what Martin Luther King said. The universe bends towards justice. And as Thomas Jefferson said, all that evil men and tyrants need to flourish is that good men and women do nothing. Remember, the globalists know how much power you have individually. They know what you can do. They know what your ancestors went through, how they struggled for us to have anything today. They understand how strong our species is, and they are scared of you. So from the time you're born, they teach you that you're bad. They teach you that you're pathetic. They teach you that you don't have any power, because in truth, you have unlimited power when you take action for humanity and do the right thing and have the will and the confidence to face the facts. Earlier, I talked about the Hadron Superconducting Supercollider. They were going to build it up in North Texas by Dallas and Waxahachie. Over a 1,000-mile concentric ring where they were going to accelerate particles. And they, in their own words, they say they're looking for the God particle. They're looking for a way to open a dimensional gate. This is not my words. This is Reuters and Associated Press. And now they've built it in CERN on the Swiss-French border. And they're not just slamming uranium, plutonium, particles into blocks of lead, speeding them up to the speed of light or close. They are now running uranium and plutonium and uranium and uranium and plutonium into each other at light speed. And I read their quotes on their own website. I watch their tours. And they say, yes, there's a statistical chance we're going to create a black hole that will destroy the Earth in seconds. There's a statistical chance we're going to make a strangelet that destroys the planet. There's a statistical chance that we're going to create a fission-fusion reaction that damages the planet or even destroys it. But we're going to do it in the search for information, in the search for immortality, in the search for the secrets of the universe. And then they tell us that the danger is carbon dioxide. Hey, I'll make a deal with them. We'll put a tax on carbon dioxide as soon as they stop all the genetic engineering and all the colliding of uranium. If they can take equations from Max Planck and Albert Einstein, some of them over 110 years old, and blow up entire cities, can you imagine what 110 years later these people have got? But what power is it if they destroy the whole planet? I love my 3 children, my 2 daughters and my son. I love them 1,000 times more than myself. I'd give my life up instantly for them, not thinking 1 second. But I ask you a question. What do we give up for the unborn generations? If you could hold your great-great-great-grandson in your arms, or your great-great-great-granddaughter in your arms, would you not love them or any other child just as much as you love your children today? I say to the globalist, just like a diver down 400 feet who is having an oxygen-starved hallucination of grandeur, you have a delusion up in your ivory towers. You have released Pandora's box. You are hurtling our species towards destruction. You are not God. You may have the spirit and the seed of the universe in you, but you cannot control it. And how dare you hurtle our society and our species towards certain destruction in your mad, competitive drive for total power. I'm only halfway through one page. I got like 4 more pages. You know, I don't know what it is, but I keep my studio about 65 degrees. And every time I get angry and focused, I start sweating. Red-blooded, baby. And I'm in here right now, and I tell you, I'm sweating like a big fat hog. Because let me tell you something. I can feel your energy.
We love you, Adam.
I can feel the energy. It doesn't matter if you came here as an African slave in a coffin ship and half your people died on the way. You carry all of their strength with you. It doesn't matter if you came over here 300 years ago on a ship for 3 months and your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother gave birth in the bottom of a sewage-filled, rat-filled cistern. You are here today because of the incredible sacrifices that our ancestors have made, and I want to recognize everything humanity did. I want to recognize everything that our ancestors went through fighting 2,000-pound cave bears and saber-toothed tigers and hyenas and the weather and the earthquakes and huddling in caves, doing everything we could with our babies to survive. And I'm telling you, we're going to beat the New World Order. And may our ancestors, not just on the moons of Saturn and Jupiter, but our ancestors 1 trillion light years away, remember what we did when they faced those challenges, when our ancestors live 1 million years. Let them remember what we, as their protogenic humans, did to ensure that the lowest scum didn't chart our course, but loving, free humanity took to the stars. It is. Thank you. As our ancestors fought and died and starved to death and sacrificed for us to be here, as we lay in this eugenics bed of comfortable death, watching the TV, gorging ourselves with the poisons, remember everything our ancestors did to bring us to this point. Remember the honor and the beauty and everything good that we can literally feel in our genetic code. Remember those instincts, those ancestral memories that will take us in, through, and beyond and defeat the globalist. Now, I haven't even begun to get my speech. And hey, I want everybody to be able, because I know a lot of you stood in line, I want everybody to be able to have a 15, 20-minute intermission. I'm going to come back and speak for 2 hours. I'm going to take 30